Hey, welcome to the LP Power Development Diary. So, uh, I have in my hand a prototype of sorts, a mock-up of the Challenger front suspension. It is a lot sleeker than the suspension of the original model in 2008 was, and of course a lot sturdier. I have cheated a little bit. Here you can see I modified a bionicle part to make up for the steering link because space here is tight and this part really needs to be connected to the hub. Um, what else? We have the connections for the ball joints on the hub for the links. I chose this mounting position because here the spring will be acting, so the ball must not pop out under load. So the only position I could guarantee this would not happen is if this part is mounted so the pressure goes down. In any other case, the ball would pop up. Of course, I modified this part. There was no other way, so it now looks like this. This slope was interfering, so I could not mount it inside of the turntable. Sorry. Uh, Another modification I did, I cut off one stud of those lift arms, those angled lift arms, uh, simply because space is tight in the wheel well, and if I want to mount a spring like this, I need this to hug the wheel as close as possible while not taking up space here in the wheel well. Let me demonstrate what this means by hugging the wheel. Okay, this is a nice RC wheel which I'll be using. Okay, so the gap between the wheel and the hub is as close as possible. Obviously I need to re-engineer this area because it's a little weak and takes up too much space. Here is the lower link that will be used. It has the mounting point for the spring, for the shock absorber. Well, let's see it in action. If I can demonstrate a little bit. It looks a bit weird, but you get the idea. Let me remove the wheel to want to see this. Okay, when we it's obvious that the two lower suspension links are a bit higher than we are used to. They are almost in the center of the wheel hub. This is so I could position the steering link as low as possible, so it will be placed under the engine. And of course, because it crosses the paths of the links, it needs to be below the links. It is close to the real setup in the Challenger, but some dimensions are a bit exaggerated. And of course, the steering link needs to be parallel to the rear suspension arm in both planes, from the front, and if we look at it from below. The chassis part is of course a complete mock-up I threw it together just so it would hold the links. It's flexing, and it's very ugly. So don't pay any attention to it. The upper arm, of course, will be mounted in a slanted way. This is done in the real car as well, to add some anti-squat geometry when braking. We of course cannot mount brakes because there's simply no way to engineer brakes in this setup. But we are going to retain this simply because I like it. It adds a little bit of realism and complexity. All of this is, of course, now is very sturdy already, even though the chassis part is still flexing, which means that we are not going to have any slack that is inherent to the small ball joints. That's also the main reason I use the big Bionicle joints. They are much more clumsy, but in a car like this, with wheels as big as those, we really do want as little slack as possible. Anyway, that's it for today, and I see you next time.